Elise.
Elise?
Clara. That's Carrie Jo.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Have you been at the spa all day just chilling out?
No, but we're going to go there afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hopefully it's not busy.
Yeah.
You're kind of at halfway ski time, so hopefully you can get there before the crazy crowds. All right, we're going to start seated on the roller and just start rolling back and forth. It's so relaxing to just like sit and watch the skiers. I think if I didn't have this entertainment, there's no way I'd sit and roll for this long.
Yeah.
All right, so coming all the way to the sits bones and then start leaning back a little bit, get to the top of the glutes, just back and forth. So you don't normally roll any of you?
I do.
You do?
A little bit.
Okay, yeah. Not a lot of people just roll like IT bands or their back, you know. So we'll roll pretty much everything and then just do stretching in between. So, yeah. All right, we're gonna lean over to the right glute and just start to work towards that lateral side of the hip. And then if you want a little bit more, you can cross your ankle over. How long are you here for?
Just till after New Year's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's so touch and go traveling at the moment. So
Seriously, so many flights have been canceled.
Yeah.
And, oh my
I could be
goodness.
here till the end of January. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe you're okay with that, right?
Yeah.
So many people working remote now too. It's like, if I get stuck somewhere.
Exactly.
That's not always the case, but it's convenient when it is. It's like, I'll just work, you know, at the airport or wherever you are.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the other side. Just start to lean over to that left glute. You can keep that leg extended, or if you want to go for that more intense option, just cross over the ankle. And then we'll release that leg, go to the low back, and just start breathing, inhaling one way and exhale the other way. Inhale, kind of stretching the shoulders, lifting the chest up, and exhale, come back. And then we'll go to mid-back, start to cross your arms over your chest, lift your hips, and moving the roller underneath the shoulder blades, feeling the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, just tap that roller. Start to get closer to the shoulder blades, even moving the roller on the shoulder blades, maybe halfway. And whenever you're ready, hands behind the head and moving to the upper back, right over the shoulder blades. Any soreness or pain today that you're aware of so far that we could touch on? Some stretches to help release that. Nobody's tight or feeling sore anywhere? Oh, that's good. Okay, we're going to pause with the shoulder blades on top. Let your hips sit down on the earth. Take a big breath, inhale. And on an exhale, just let your head melt into your hands, elbows wide. So some spinal extension. If you feel this in your low back, tuck your tailbone a little bit more. And then wiggle from side to side, elbow side to side. And we'll take an inhale, reaching the arms overhead, letting your head dip back if that's comfortable for your neck. If not, just keep your head neutral. And then slowly help yourself up. You can catch your legs to bring yourself up to a seated position. And we'll inhale, reach our arms to sky. Exhale, and just thread the needle with your arms. Hug in and just kind of rock side to side, open up in your back. Inhale, reach to sky. On an exhale, place your hands down, tabletop. So lift your hips up, open up in your hip flexors, head back, open in your shoulders. It can be up on your knuckles or fists, or just flat hands. Slowly come on down with your hips. Inhale again to lengthen your spine and extend your legs out. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall, and we'll move to the right side of the body. So you'll be able to see me in the mirror. You can keep your roller where it's at, and just start to lie on the roller where your shoulder blade, that lateral side of your shoulder blade touches. Yep. And so you can go as low as you want. Usually people find plenty of work to do like right in here. Okay, so lats, teres minor, major. So we're just going to start rolling kind of over that shoulder blade toward the armpit. You can extend your arm. You can hold your head with your hand. Just starting to work through that right side. So if you're right-handed, you might find that there's more tension than maybe you anticipated. So just breathing through it, that's totally normal. If you want, you can even roll your armpit on top and move into the chest a little bit. We will roll the whole shoulder in a minute. Like majorly ticklish. Move your ticklish. That's so funny. I've never had anybody say that. So myofacial releases are interesting because if you're not doing it regularly, you can find these little knots and these sensations of the muscle and the fascia sliding and kind of popping. So hopefully it's not painful. It might just be surprising. So just breathing through it. If you find a knot, you can pause there and just try and relax over it. Take some deep breaths. All right, we're going to move to the back of the shoulder. So you're going to take your elbow up and over, and you can see me in the mirror. Then you don't have to like crank your neck. Yeah, back of the shoulder, just push into it. And then the neck gets a little tired right here, so you can keep moving the head a little bit. And in a second, we'll release that next. All right, now we can release the neck. We're going to take that shoulder right under the right shoulder under the left shoulder. So you're completely stacking the shoulders, medial deltoid, just letting the weight of your body push into that roller. As you do this, you can look down. You can roll out your head. You can massage your neck. Checking in with your breath. And then we're leaning back to get that arm up and over the roller. We'll start to straighten out the right leg and then kind of scoot your hips back or like stack your hips more and then move to that anterior delt. So it might be hard to see me for a minute. So if you sit up and look at me, that's fine. Front of the shoulder pushing down. I like to push the thumb down to the floor or turn the palm up. And you can let your chin rest on the roller or your head rest down if you need to. I'm just getting into that anterior deltoid and into the chest. And then you can play with moving your arm like a clock dial. Every time you change that position, just even subtly, you can feel a difference in that fascia release. Taking another breath or two. If you need a second to just rest, just take a second to let go. Rest over the roller. And then when you're ready, press your arms into the earth to come up to a seated position. We'll just stretch out that arm. So take the right arm across the chest and then drop your head over to the left and make sure your left shoulder's relaxed and just move your head forward and back, stretching the rhomboids that pull the shoulder blades together, post-delt. Bring your head to neutral and take your arm up and over. So tricep stretch, but working on that shoulder mobility. And just press your head into that left arm to get more stretch. And then release your arms and you're just going to roll out that shoulder. And take it the other way. Did you find some tension in there? Yeah. Okay, let's get that other side. So facing the pool now, same thing, we'll start at the lateral side of the shoulder blade. And you can hold your head just do some micro rolls. And maybe you try some different things like rolling onto the armpit towards the chest, zigzagging back and forth, or taking that roller lower towards the bottom of the latissimus dorsi muscle. I'm just working right up and under that posterior delt. We'll get to the shoulders in a minute, just like we did on the other side. Rolling over the shoulder blade, just kind of exploring that whole left side. And just keeping that breath moving, hearing yourself breathe is calming for the nervous system. So deepening your breath. All right, let's go to the post delt. So back of the shoulder presses down. Again, there's an angle of the body here, so that right shoulder's kind of behind on that shoulder. Neck's going to get tired for a minute if you need to move the head around. All right, let's go to medial deltoid. So help yourself up. Stack your shoulders. You can look down here or like just release your hip to the side. Roll it out. All right, anterior delt. Let's lean back to get that elbow up and over. Start to scoot your hips back, rolling towards the belly, and then using your arm like a clock dial. You can start with a bent elbow, see how that feels, then extend your arm more, then maybe thumb down, palm up. Moving towards the chest as well. Trying to create space where we tend to shorten from the shoulder to the chest, that inner spiral of the humerus bones. Getting that to open up. All right, slowly, let's come on up. And stretch the back of the shoulder, the rhomboid. Was one side tighter than the other? Yeah. Move your head around. Your shoulder mobility, press from the front or up and over the head. All right, and then just take that elbow, circle it around. Other way. All right, let's keep moving down the back of the body. So hamstrings, you can turn and face me again, and have your hamstrings right on top. And then just start rolling. You can start with your legs narrow, you can go wide, you can externally rotate, internally rotate, you can kind of lean to one side. I usually roll out pretty much the whole body before IT bands. I'm trying to get the hamstrings to release, the quads to release.
For the fun bit.
Even the calves, so that the IT bands aren't as intense. I didn't work out for like 2 weeks, and so I did leg day yesterday, and I'm like, I did the lightest leg day, and I'm feeling it so hard. I'm like, what?
Like, I've never taken 2 weeks off again.
I know, seriously. I'm like, how is it burning so bad? I've done this workout a million times. It's kind of nice though, because it's like, you know, when you've done the same workout and you're not feeling it, and then you're like, oh, this time it really hurts.
Actually doing something.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a seat and take the legs wide. We'll sit up nice and tall. Inhale, and then exhale. Walk your roller forward, guide until you feel a decent stretch. Nothing too intense yet. And you kind of roll in and out of this until you feel that point where you feel a little bit stuck, and then offer some breath. If it's too much, pull back out of it. And then inhale, come up. Keep your roller a little bit further away as you bring your feet together, Baddha Konasana. Do you have any fun New Year's plans? Pizza. Ooh, fun. Sounds great. We always do pizza on Friday nights, so. There it goes.
Oh,
I've been waiting for your hip to pop. That always happens when I get on an elliptical. It's like I'm going, but it's like stuck, and I have to usually do it's that number 4 pose to get it to pop. Okay, let's put the calves on there. We'll just sit down for a minute and just roll out simply, just back and forth, rotating your legs. And then if you want more, you can lift yourself up, or you can focus on one leg at a time. You can do this seated as well, one leg at a time.
Very silk.
Calves. Yeah, I didn't work my calves yesterday. I'm really sore. Yes, we just use them all day. And something that never rests. I did, let's see, I'm like, what did I do yesterday? I did squats with a barbell, and I did the donkey kicks with a machine. I swear that's like it.
But I couldn't literally help today.
Yeah. I do this every week, sometimes twice a week, depends on if my class is running. And still, every time I'm like, how did I go so long without doing this? Like, I need it so much. All right, let's shift things up a little bit and come into a prone position. Place your roller to the side, either side, and you're just coming to all fours, inhaling, lifting the head, tailbone up with your lungs. Exhale, round through the spine, pull your navel up towards your back, chin to chest. 2 more times, inhale, spinal articulation. And exhale, round. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale, round. Find a neutral spine. Come to a plank pose on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bicycle through your feet a little bit here. And then slowly come down to your knees. Let's go to quads. So you'll scoot back a little bit. Place your roller in front of your legs and then slowly come onto it. Oh, yep. This is gonna be killer. I might have to go to a green one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll try that for a minute. So back and forth. Weird.
Welcome.
Welcome, Joyce. Oh, that's really gonna feel so much better. Oh yeah.
So I don't often do rollerballs. I always love it when I do. Can you tell me some of the benefits
Of rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have that fascia, that connective tissue that runs through our bodies. It's a web tissue. It encapsulates muscle fibers. And so it helps to release tension. It helps to move lymph through our body. So our detox system, it doesn't work like our circulatory system where it's pumped. The lymph needs a little assistance, so this helps it push it through. It also helps prevent injury, because if our fascia is too tight, say for instance the IT band is too tight, you can pull that knee out of alignment, and eventually like runners or active people create an injury. So it's preventative care as well. And then this is just a good counter to like more of the stressful activities that we do, whether it's just life in general or like exercise. This puts us in the parasympathetic nervous system, and so we can start to repair, restore, heal, recover.
Yeah, you definitely feel it.
Yeah. So it's that mind, body, heart, spiritual connection. It's just all connected, and so I also feel like it's like a good balance to like just stress in general. So, all right. So some options you can do here: lean over to that right hip flexor. Just do some little micro rolls back and forth. Yeah, it's just like kind of like yoga in that it's kind of that tourniquet effect. If we're putting pressure and then we release, there's fresh oxygenated blood that goes to that area. All right, other side if you want. And then, yeah, we're gonna get into the, well, we already kind of are. We're gonna go to the TFL, the tensor fascial laceate up at the top here, and the glute med. Start at your hip crest. And then those muscles become your IT bands that are attached to your upper tibia. So before we roll out IT bands, we want to roll out those muscles. Just so my back's not to you, I'm going to roll over to my left. You can roll. Why don't y'all go to your left as well? And you're going to stay above this hip bone here and move from above the hip bone to that hip crest. So you're going pretty high, and you're going to do this zigzag motion. Back and forth. Feeling the ASIS, the anterior superior iliac spine right here of your hip. You're gonna roll right into that.
Are you going up at the top, over the top of the hip bone, or is it just
No,
has
so
a
like-
dip in between?
Yeah, you know how when you roll, like you can feel like right here, like
Yeah.
it kind of hurts. You don't actually want to roll right on that. You want to roll above it and below it.
Okay, but not above there.
You can, like, you'll know because
Okay.
you'll be like in your waistline. Like right now, it's pushing into my waistline.
Yeah.
My hip crest is down here, but I actually want to go right where the muscles originate at the top of that hip crest.
Okay.
Sometimes that's where we can find, like, we can work in the belly of the muscle, and that's great. But sometimes getting closer to where it originates or attaches, it can offer more ability to release that muscle and fascia around that area. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's quite sore.
Yeah. So the IT band is a bridge that connects the hip to the knee, creates that stabilization. So we're working at the very, very top, and then we'll end closer. So we're not there yet, but when we get to more of the tendons right here, then we'll want to be careful. I don't want to actually roll these right here, but I'll let you know when we get there. Okay, so now let's actually sit down. And that side you've been rolling, we're just going to do a mermaid stretch. Reach your arms up and over the head. Let that hip drop down. Okay, so now we'll go to the IT band on that side. So let's start middle of the thigh. And then, so if you hold yourself up, right, less pressure. And then if you want more, drop to a forearm. Perhaps cross the leg in front or even stack the legs. And just start with some micro rolls and then let it expand from there. So just remember, as you're going down, just be mindful right in here. If you roll these tendons, it can make them sore for a long time. I know from experience, like literally it was not even days, it was like 2 weeks of just soreness of those tendons. So just be mindful as you're starting to work down towards the knee. And then you can roll kind of to the hamstring, transition, do the zigzag, and go to the quad. And then I have my right leg kind of in front, and so I'm getting right in here, sartorius, the quad area just above the kney. So let's try that. Just breathing deep here. Helping to release any tightness, soreness. And when you're ready, you'll come to your back. So the leg that you've been rolling, you're going to cross that over and do a abduction. No, that's not it. We're adducting, stretching the abductors. There we go. So anchor your left arm down, or whatever leg you rolled. Some of you switch, that's totally fine. But just stretching out the leg that you rolled, the IT band. And you're just rolling out the ankle one way and the other way. And pointing and flexing. And then we're going to go into an abduction stretch, abducting the leg to stretch the abductors. So you're going to hold the outside of the leg, or you can grab your foot and extend the leg out. And then use your right arm now to anchor yourself down. Push your shoulder down into the floor. Maybe bend and straighten through the knee a little bit. And then set that leg down on the roller, or if you're not using the roller, that's fine. It's going to take like 30 seconds to just feel the body, feel the right side, feel the left side, notice the difference. We'll go to the other side in just a moment. Deepening your breath to your lower belly. And slowly helping yourself up, and then going to the other side. So we'll start, you can just start, with your hip down and then set the roller next to it and then lean over. So we're doing the TFL, tensor fascial latate, and the glute med, the back and forth. So you can think of like either meat or even like an orange, the white fibrous tissue encapsulating those little juice pockets, or like a steak. You want to see the fascia when you cut into it slide, right? So we want that fascia to be able to slide so that our bodies are biomechanically moving in the right directions. All right, so if that's still feeling pretty tight, feel free to stay there. Keep going back and forth. If you feel like you're ready for IT band work, then you can bring that roller to mid-thigh and start to work from there. Maybe come to the forearm. If that's too much, come back up. So you will feel a difference, that top leg crossing in front or behind. And you can kind of go back and forth if you want. If you're noticing a lot of knots, you can just really take it slow or just do these teeny tiny little micro rolls. I must be a foodie because I always relate this to food. But think of cookie dough, like a mound of cookie dough. You pop it on the counter and then you're using the roller. If you have chocolate chips in there, you're gonna feel this bump, bump, bump. That's what happens when we're rolling out.
Cookie dough analogy works.
Yeah. Cookie dough is better than talking about. Although I have been doing keto for 6 weeks now, and I started out eating a lot of red meat, and then it's just not my favorite, but every once in a while I crave it, but I would just rather have chicken and fish and shrimp and stuff. But anyways, it was I'm thinking about that as I'm cutting the steak. Good piece of meat. It's that's just sliding. Kind of gross, but. All right. Okay, did you find some knots? Yeah. Okay, let's stretch it out for a minute here. So that way you just roll, you're just gonna cross it over the midline, arms to a T, and then start to roll the ankle around one way and the other way. Pointing and flexing. And then taking that knee in towards the chest and then wide. And then you can hold the outside of the leg, just kick out, or grab the foot and extend out. You'll notice that the leg that you're stretching, the hip will want to lift up with that leg. Try and push the hip down so that it's even with the other hip. So both sides of the body are even, the torso. All right, let's rest that leg down on the roller, or if you're not using the roller, just resting down on the floor. Let's actually take our hands to belly for a moment here, low belly, and just focus on that deep belly breathing. Lengthening out the inhale, lengthening out the exhale. And then bending your knees, taking them into chest. Hold your knees with your hands and circle around. Massage your low back and your sacrum. And go the other way. So I hate that sound and feeling of that sliding over the sacrum. It grosses me out. Okay, rock and roll up. Like right in here. I don't know if you guys have that. When you like roll right here, it goes crack. Okay, set your roller off to the side. We're gonna work on some stretching. Right leg forward, left leg back, getting into a lunge. You can fold the long edge of your sticky mat. And then just kind of, you can work high here or low, and just forward and back. Inhale one way, exhale the other way. And then we'll do one more forward and push down through your right foot, lift your left arm up. So stretching the iliopsoas, it starts at T12 and attaches to your inner upper thigh bone, creating length there. And then on an exhale, we'll take that left hand down and then extend through the right leg, right hand to hip, and a little IT band stretch again. Yep, so look over the shoulder. And you're fine if you're on the left leg, it's fine where you are. And start to bend through that right knee, take your hand to the inside, swing it back. And then let's go to the other side. And again, you can work up high here or nice and low. Did you all grow up here in Utah? Except you probably didn't. Yeah.
No, yeah, we're Australian, so we
Okay.
in Queensland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
From Utah?
Yeah. I lived in Vegas for a few years. My mom's from there. But yeah, I'm a Utah girl for sure. All right. So shift forward, root down, lift your right arm up. A little bit of a back bend if that feels good. And right hand down, extend through the left leg, lift your toes, and then left hand to hip, look over your shoulder. And then set that left hand to the inside of your left foot, and then find your roller, work through the anterior tibialis, and then I have these massage balls that we can work with. If you want to go deeper, I'll give you some options there. So we'll lean over to the right hip, and you're getting the lateral side of your shins here and the medial side on the left. Yeah. And you can hold here with your hip down, or you can make it more of an abdominal workout and more pressure into those spots if you want to lift your hip up. This is helpful if you've been skiing or riding at all. Like, I don't usually feel this until I've been snowboarding. And then I'm like, whoa.
I don't know what I've been doing.
Just walking.
Just walking.
All right, we're going to come off of the roller and do a puppy's pose. Go back to the shoulders for just a second. Knees under hips. Take your roller out in front. You're pushing into the roller, your butt's way high in the air here, and your heart is reaching to the earth. Kind of wiggle your arms, releasing your head and neck. Maybe just let your forehead rest down. And then on an inhale, push into the roller, come on up, and let's do the other side tibialis. Did you see that crazy snow squall yesterday? I have never heard of that. I'm like, I lived here forever. I've never, I don't know if I just didn't know.
With alerts.
Yeah, like crazy. I was like, okay.
It's like a wall of snow.
Yeah. I'm in Sandy, so right when you come out of the canyon, you know that town. And so I did walk outside when it was happening, and I live in an HOA, and I had to go to an HOA meeting that literally was like 5 houses down from mine. And I like started walking out, and then I was like, I'm gonna drive. So lazy, but it was just like blizzard.
We tried to go somewhere in Hampton.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Let's do a couple more things before I get these massage balls out. Okay, so we're gonna come to our bellies, rollers on the right side. You're gonna hike your leg on top, get your adductors. One thing I like about this is you can rotate to the top of the quads and the hip flexors into those areas that are usually pretty tight. Yeah, it's like, that's good. Okay, let me get those massage balls. Ooh. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna pass this over to you. Sorry, not a great aim. Sorry. Alrighty. Let's take that roller to the other side. Hike the other leg up on top, back and forth. Maybe you're using that kick rotation to the ceiling.
I'm really glad I can't see what it looks like.
I know, it's like you're hoping nobody's like looking in here.
Everybody's looked in.
They're like, what are they doing?
Like those girls can't up off the floor. Off the floor.
Oh man, they must have been skiing all
That's
day.
right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Probably looks like one of those like sexy classes
Yeah.
on the floor. And then my other classes where I have the blankets and I put the blankets over people, I'll have public safety walk through and they're like, oh, that's where you keep all the dead bodies. Okay, let's set that off to the side for a minute and then come up to a seated position and just start to roll out one foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, try standing on it. If you want to stand on it, it's like a whole different thing. Who said they were ticklish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did this once with a tennis ball, so this is very different.
Yeah.
This is a good pedicure.
This is like not forgiving at all. It has no give at all. Okay, other foot.
Kelly does this like under her desk all day. She has like
Really?
plantar
Fasciitis, yeah, this is good for that.
She sits and just like does this.
Mhm.
She's sitting at her desk.
Is she a runner?
She did. She used to run one. Now she like
She's brought it upon herself.
she's like she can't even walk barefoot anywhere. She, like,
Wow.
always has to wear shoes around her house.
I've heard it's super painful.
Oh no, I thought I was looking at my foot. It's Claire's foot. I'm like, wow, we really good job.
Okay, you ready for more? Okay, so we're gonna go
Oh my
to the
gosh.
glutes, I know. But you can determine the pressure by how much you let yourself settle into it, so hold yourself up.
It's like I'm sitting on something.
Oh, actually, that feels really good.
Yeah, I mean, go around your sits bones and see if it still feels good. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, or go.
Puncture my yoga pants.
That's not happened yet, but maybe you'll be the first. I don't know. I took a class from a yoga instructor when I first used these, my first experience with them, and she starts out, she's like, we haven't lost any balls yet, and I was like, no. Okay, so if you want, you can go back to the top of the IT band, not the actual IT band. I don't know where in the body it transitions, but I just know the muscles become the IT band. So try and stay in the muscle area. I personally think the IT band would be too intense, but you can try it if you want. But start to go to that side and maybe even lie on your side. And then you just roll the whole glute. If you find any knots, maybe just kind of sit on it, settle into it, see if you can get it to release. And then switch to the other side. I don't dare have a therapist work my butt like this.
Yeah,
Some people are more brave than me, but I'm just like, I'll just do it with the Pokeball. So yeah, all the three heads of the hamstrings originate at your sit bone. So kind of roll around there. See how tight those hammies are. And then getting towards the bottom of the glute and zigzag all around. Top of the glute and into glute knee. I did have the best massage of my life last week for my birthday.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's always these teeny little women. They're just the toughest ones. And the same here. We have this therapist and she's teeny. Her name is Hokyo. And she is so tough. But yeah, I just can't even believe it.
That's what you want.
Yeah, she's teeny petite, and then her and the other top therapist is this big Russian guy. And I'm like, okay, you guys are look completely opposite, but you both work people so good.
Bring the pain.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go up the spine, not the spine, the erector spinae muscles. So start low back, and just so your hips over to one side, and then just get into the low back and just start rolling back and forth. We're not actually rolling the spine, but close to it. And then other side. I know I'm making it quick, but we'll spend more time up towards the top where we get really tight, most of us, traps and stuff. Rhomboid. Okay, so we're gonna do this little technique where we kind of stamp our back on the ball. So you're gonna take the ball to kind of like the bottom tip of your shoulder blade area and just kind of lean into it and maybe lay on top of it and just feel that pressure. And then you're going to lean back to your side. So I'm leaning on my left side. And then I'm gonna put that ball further up. Now it's to the inside of my shoulder blade, in between my shoulder blade and my spine. And I'm gonna lean onto it. Yeah, just like stamp. And then I know it's hard to get that ball higher, but you can always just scoot your butt down and get it higher. And then now I'm like between the shoulder blade and the spine, but like halfway up the shoulder blade. So I'm gonna lean into it, and now I'm gonna do a little exercise here. You can go a little higher, so actually my knot is a little bit higher. And then I'm gonna lean into it, and then scissor the arm. You might feel that sliding, popping sensation. Hopefully it goes away. I've heard it's not really a problem to have that unless it causes pain. Then you want to have a doctor check it out. And then you can do this cross over the chest and then open. You can do circles both ways, one way and the other way. And then you can kind of keep going up until you get, so now the ball's like up above my traps here a little bit, and I'm going to lean into it and just find any knots there. And then roll over to that same side I've been leaning to, and then just take the ball, just kind of roll it up my neck here. Just rub the ball on that right side, even towards the sternocleidomastoid right here. Roll your neck out. Oh my gosh, that therapist worked my neck like no one ever had before. Yeah. So scalenes, sternocleido, top of the traps. My goodness. That was needed.
Yeah.
All right. So let's roll over and help yourself up and get to the low back on the other side. And you can just kind of hang out on your forearms and just roll that low back a little bit. Back and forth, maybe go to the outside a little bit more. Lateral side. And then we'll start to lie back. So if you lie on the ball and push into your sacrum, push into the back of your head, so you're like arching your back, then it's less intense. But if you want more, just kind of let your body settle, get heavy over the ball. And then just kind of wiggle. And then lean over to push the ball a little higher. So getting closer towards the bottom tip of the shoulder blade. You can just wiggle or just do that stamping motion. And then have the ball go up a little bit higher or scoot your butt down to do that. And so right now, the bottom tip of my shoulder blade is just grazing the side of that ball. And I'm just kind of wiggling there or just holding. All right, let's get to that point where we do that arm movement. So find your knot where you think that might be. So in between the shoulder blades somewhere, maybe a little higher. And then begin your scissoring with your arm up over your head and then towards your hip. And then adduct the arm, abduct the arm. Breathing deep the whole time. And some circles. One way and the other way. And then you can scoot your butt down, start to get to the top of the traps. And then now I'm leaning into that ball at the top of my traps, the bottom slope of my neck. And then lean to the other side, pick up your ball and start to roll your ball towards the front of your neck, sternocleidomastoid, all the way up under the ear base of the skull to that lateral side, and then down towards the clavicle. And to this side, and towards the back. Awesome. All right, we're gonna take a couple minutes to relax. So you can set your ball off to the side, set it on your belly, whatever you want to do with it. And just take some time to release, let go. And coming into that place of non-doing, but fully being in the moment with your breath, with your body, your mind, and your heart. Just take a few more moments to just scan your body. If you're holding any residual tension, giving yourself permission to let it go with your next exhalation. And wiggle your fingers and your toes. And with your eyes open if they're closed, bend one knee and the other knee, and then roll over to your left side. Make a pillow with your arms, bend your knees, and just pause. Using your strong arms, help yourself up, come to a seated position. And then just take your hands over your heart, bow your head, take a moment to find appreciation for yourself, for your body. Tuning into gratitude, thankfulness. The light in me honors the light in me. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. Hopefully you feel good after that.
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was amazing.
Good. There's a little bit of torture here and there, but it has a good.
Yeah, you showed me some new ways to
Yes.
different areas.
Mhm.